Hey, I'm NoxLumens, and I'm going to be going through Driftingblue6 today from Proving Grounds Play. And it's right here. It's part of the TJ Nulls list. This is the address if you're wanting to be able to get there. Alternatively, you can just type in TJ Nulls and do Google. You have to spell it right. But it's going to be the third list down. At least for me, it is. It's NetSec Focus Trophy Room. Clicking on that, it's going to bring you over here. This is what I'm going through. I've made it through all of these hack the box boxes. I think I may have done one or two of the Proving Grounds practice, and we are actually up to our last one on Proving Grounds Play that I have not completed. But today I'm going to be doing an old box that I've done. Driftingblue6. This is like the free to play Proving Grounds. And you know, obviously I'm doing the play version before I go off and pay to do the practice versions. Let's just get into it. I've already spun the server up. I just need to get the IP real fast. And we're going to start running our NMAP scan, which is going to be NMAP. Yeah, we can do that. We do tac. There we go. NMAP, a min rate of 1000. Run default enumeration, default scripts on all ports. Just tell it to be super duper verbose. I need to make some directories first. CD documents, Proving Grounds, make dir. Actually, yeah, whatever. Make dir new, CD new. Make dir Driftingblue6 and CD into drifting. All right. So our IP is going to be 192.168.212.219. I'll add that up to the title so that I don't lose it. Yes. And then we're going to output into the NMAP format into a file called nmap.md, and it's going to go into the documents, Proving Grounds, new drifting folder, .md folder. There we go. And yeah, so we should end up seeing it come across our screens shortly. And I'll pause while the script runs since it can take a while. Awesome. So it's finished. And we have our NMAP scan, which we'll do a little bit of formatting on. We can read everything better. It looks a little bit nicer for us. There we go. Now it looks a lot better. Immediately we see a few things. Title of Drifting Blues. Only one thing is open, port 80. And that's really it. It's the only thing that's interesting at all in here. So there are a few things that we can do, of course. We can do... Oh, whoa, what was that? Yeah, I did see something else. Oh no, I cleared it off. Anyway, it's fine. So a few things we can do. We do directory, like brute forcing, and we can do vhost enumeration on port 80. So we'll go ahead and start off with that. We'll start off with this. Scan. Okay. So FEROXBUSTER --URL HTTP 192.168.212.219 word list of user share word list sec list discovery web content directory list 2.3 big.txt and then threads of 50 threads. it is not, I would say it's not necessary for you to have it set that far back in this path. And also, big is probably too, we probably could have started with a small word list first, just to get stuff back faster. Here is actually a few things on here that look pretty good. We can look at the robots, spammer. I don't like these 400s that I'm getting. Cool. So you see robots, and it's telling you to disallow, or it's saying text pattern. It's disallowing us to go there. Or I guess it's what it's doing is it's making it so that bots that are scraping the web, yes, miss this directory. Anyway, if we go there, oh, it's also showing us the telling us to add the .zip extension, and so we have a login for text pattern. When I went to this spammer page, it downloaded the zip file, which contains some creds apparently. Extract it. Fine. Oh, so we can't open this zip file up because this password is protected. Unfortunately for the person that zipped it up, let's just stop this for a second. Actually, let's stop it altogether. Unfortunately for the person that zipped it up, we can use something like zip to John. Yes, so we can use zip to John in order to try and crack the password on there. And it looks like I did it. So I'll run it without the redirect first. That way you can see what we're doing. And this is not necessary. /spammer. There we go. So it's going to output it into this format that we have here. This pkzip 111, so on and so forth. So we're going to input that into zip.john. And then we can John hashes John zip.john. And I guess I could let it run, but let's do -- word list equals user share word list rocku. I'm gonna let that run. It doesn't like something. Loaded one password hash. No passwords left to crack. Loaded one password hash. Okay, let's try different word list. I guess. No. You can try. Surely it's not that, right? We'll try it out. Let's see what happens. No hashes loaded. Okay. Zip to John. Spammer.zip. Hashes. John hashes word list user spit rocku. I wonder if John will take. Won't. Is that because it's okay. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So if we look, we have spammer.zip. And if we try to open that, we can extract it to our downloads folder. Oh, it's password protected, which for us is not a problem. And so keep this in mind. I did have to go in and delete my john.pop file in order for me to do this part. But what we can do is do zip.john. And the reason I had to do that is because I had already cracked this password previously, and the password was inside the pop file. So anyway, let me make sure that it's in here. Downloads. There we go. So now we can zip to John, spammer.zip, and I'll show you what this looks like. So it's going to look like that. We're going to input that into a hash file. And then we can do John hash -- word list user share word list rocku. So I'm going to use the rocku.txt, and it comes back with it cracks a password on there of MySpace4, which means we can come back in here and open this file up, extracting it into that directory. We'll actually put it in here. There we go. MySpace4. Hopefully I spelled that right. Looks like I did. Now we can show the files. Documents, proving grounds, new, drifting, clear, cat, creds. Okay. So I have credentials, Mayor and Lionheart, which we can try to log in here. Hopefully this will work. Cannot log in with username password. Mayor. I don't know what I'm putting in there. Lionheart. Warning, make time that it is not safe to rely on the system's time zone. You're required to use date.time zone. Okay, is it, shut up. Shut it up. Cool. Plugins, themes. So this is like other CMSs. Then we can upload a PHP WEBSHELL. And access it. Contents, articles. Please stop that. Welcome to your site. Can I create a new article? And then if I can, body import. What can I do here? Excerpts. What about files? I can just upload a file. So let's go and get I already have it, but WHITEWINTERWOLF web shell. This is the web shell that I tend to use. WHITEWINTERWOLF PHP web shell. And if we come back, I need to find it first. Locate, yeah, wolf. Locate a web shell. This is probably it. We can, yeah, okay, so this is it. So I'm gonna move it here. There we go. And then we'll upload it. Documents. Proving grounds. New. Drifting6. Web shell. Now will it let me open it up? Please stop that. I want to download it. I want to navigate to the page that it's on. Is there like a text pattern? Uploads? Upload? Text pattern uploads? Status live. Web shell. .php? What about just webshell.php? Where are you at, bud? Maybe that's not the way forward. Let's look for other things. Users, mayor, and Tasyan. Tasyan? Here we go. Page name, webshell.php, page code. Let's see if that works this way. Here's the page, text pattern, web shell. Look up the text pattern upload directory. App contents files, yeah. Look at that. CMS shell upload. Files, okay. Text pattern files. Files. Web shell, okay. And who are we? We are data. So we could work through this way, or we could go ahead and just get a different reverse shell. from rest shells. Let's see if it has Python. It has Python 3. Python. It's our IP. 192.168.45.239. Okay, Python OS, we're going to be using bash copy. Start by our netcat listener. We'll use RO-wrap. Netcat 9001. We're saying to go to 9001. We're not. We're saying to go to 80, which is probably better, or 443. But let's execute this and see what happens. We don't get our callback because we don't have Python 3. There we go. Get a full TTY. We'll background it with Control Z, S, TTY, raw, echo, foreground. Export term equal to next term. There we go. Now we can clear. It might break if I extend the page all the way out. Clear out some of these windows. Okay, so to save some time, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this version of the kernel is vulnerable to dirtyCow. We can look up SEARCHSPLOIT or whatever. We can use SEARCHSPLOIT to look up this version. Linux kernel 3.2.0. And rid of that. Out of there. So it would give me more of the information. Anyway, we can see here that our version of 3.2.0 falls in line here. 2.6.22, 3.9. So it's in between here. So it should be vulnerable to this. I can download this exploit with SEARCHSPLOIT TAC-M Linux local 40839.c. And unfortunately, my recording cut off, so I had to start this back over from this point. And that's what you'll be seeing. So now that we have it here in our directory with us, we can do Python TAC3, Python 3 TAC-M HTTP.server port 80. We use any port, but I'm choosing port 80. Anyway, so now we've got our web server spun up, and then what we can do is use wget to wget http / 192.168.45.239. We'll output that file to exploit.c. Excellent. If you want to see what it does, we can cat it out. And actually, let's less it out. Less it. That way you can read the top. Let's see what it does. So this exploit uses the Pokemon exploit of the dirtyCow vulnerability. It's based on as a base and automatically generates a new SWD line. These will be prompted for the new password when the bin is binary is run. The original Etsy password file is in the back end of the temp. Has to be done back, so you can revert your exploit here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to run gcc pthread dirty.c, output that to dirty lcrypt, and so we've called ours exploit.c. So we'll change that over to exploit.c, and then we get an error for some reason. It doesn't matter too much because I've already run this exploit. Which makes me wonder. Remove dirty, clear. Not completing. Interesting. Let's cat this out. Exploit.c. Yeah, that's why. Okay. Because I didn't actually grab it. And I overwrote the file. It's fine. Spin this back up. Download this. At exploit.c. And it's not called exploit.c. It's called 40839.c exploit.c. And now we can run it. Okay. Let's get rid of that. The GCC pthread exploit.c output dirty lcrypt. Clear that out. ls. Now we have it. We can chmod that. Chmod dirty. And then now we should be able to run it. And it's asking us for a password, which I will call password. And then we should be able to, and it may not let us, sue firefart. Yeah, okay. So we're going to need another shell, netcat, which is pretty easy. We'll just spin up another netcat server, run the exploit again, and now we get it. So now we can cd it into temp, ls, we can sue firefart with password to password, and then if we ID, we can see we have a group ID of root, groups, root, firefart, and now we can cat root proof.txt, ID, hostname, ifconfig. We can see all of our information over here on the right. So there's a flag. There's proof that we are who we say we are. Here's our hostname as proof, and then we also have the IP address right there as proof. Okay, so this is something that we would take and put in our notes as proof that we've made it onto the server. But now what we want to do is do some reversing. We want to reverse what we've done, this problem here that we've presented in our user account. So what we're going to do is get our shell again, ls, export term equal to xterm clear ls. There we go. cd temp. And now what we can do is we can, ooh, it may not let me do this. Is it gonna let me do this? I may have goofed. We can move passwd dot back into etc passwd. Yeah, okay. Let's sue firefart, password, and now let's try this. There we go. And now if we cat etc passwd, we don't see our user in there. No firefart user. And if we exit and then try to sue as firefart again, we get no passwd entry for user firefart. So what we've done is we've performed the exploit. We've got our proof, and then we've set the config back. We set the user account back so that it no longer exists, which is what you would want to do on a client's network. So this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this box. It was, I'll tell you that kernel exploits are the last thing that I go to. So of course I went through all the normal enumeration, looking inside of like host file, virtual host, like network configurations, looking for static passwords, backups, log files, everything of that nature. Ended up, running like linps, things of that nature, and ultimately landed on kernel exploit, which if you know these boxes, then you should probably try kernel exploit pretty early. Specifically, if you find no other path forward, it's probably going to be your method. So I hope that you enjoyed the box, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll let you go. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to have, if you have any questions or want specific kind of content, let me know. It's not your job, but I aim to please. See you in the next one.